We have a pair of game threes tomorrow night. Let's dive into the Aces and the Fever. It'll tip off Friday, 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. Remember, Indiana took game one in this series after outscoring Las Vegas 50-38 in the paint. And then the Aces, they took game two after outscoring the Fever by 14 in the paint. And the matchup to watch, yeah, it's the Gamecock fight in the paint between A'ja Wilson and Aaliyah Boston. Wilson has won 9 of the 12 head-to-head matchups between the two in the W, and she leads all players in scoring this postseason. Only Wilson is the only player outscoring Indiana's Kelsey Mitchell. She has been outstanding, right? She leads all players in made threes and is making them at a 43% clip while also ranking 6th in paint point scoring. So now joining us from the site of Game 3 in Indianapolis, it's our WNBA insider, Alexa Philippou. Alexa, with this series now all tied up at 1 game apiece, how are the Aces approaching this all-important Game 3?
Yeah, well, A'ja Wilson said after game two that, look, game one, they didn't come to work. Game two, it was really what they were looking for. They came to work that day and they played Aces basketball. And so they want to be able to bring that same energy into game three tomorrow night. And what that looks like, too, is Becky Hammond had this really cool analogy where she was talking about, games like this, especially in the playoffs, it's like two energies that are competing against each other. And you need to be the one that breaks the other team's energy and the other team's will first. And we saw that in game two with how the Aces really dictated the game on both ends of the floor, using their physicality and aggression to really get things moving on their end and go out to a really big lead. So for them, they also have talked a lot about not trying to skip steps when it comes to, the emotional highs and lows of series. They talked about it with the first round series against Seattle, and it came up today as they try to not just be complacent with getting, game two, winning that one game by a lot of points. They know they have to come ready to work for game three.
But where you're sitting right now, it is going to be deafeningly loud tomorrow night, Alexa. Gainbridge Fieldhouse is one of the most difficult places to play in the league. But the Fever, they need to make adjustments. They need to do something different. How can they bounce back in this game three?
Yeah, well, Stephanie White thought that her team didn't really do well in matching the Aces' physicality and level of aggression, and they didn't withstand the punch that Las Vegas was able to give to really start game two. And so for them, we saw a lot of that in how their offense looked. It was pretty choppy at times, Aaliyah Boston told us today, and they didn't think that they were actually making Kelsey Mitchell's job any easier. I mean, we know how much they rely on her to really be the fulcrum of their offense, but they need to make sure that they are moving without the ball and setting screens and just doing everything to really make it difficult for the Aces on the defensive end to do what they want to do. And so for them, making sure they're really strong in that movement should be able to help Kelsey Mitchell out and the overall offense. And they know that being able to be here will be an emotional high back in front of their home crowd, as you said, and that they also want to play free and without pressure, which they've done really well most of the season.
I'm looking forward to that game three. Alexa, while we have you here, though, another story we're following in the W, the Liberty. They parted ways with head coach Sandy Brondello this week. Brondello had led the Liberty to 2 WNBA finals in the last 4 seasons. And, of course, she won the championship with the Liberty last year. And today, we heard from the Liberty brass for the first time since her dismissal. What can you tell us about why the Liberty made this decision? Because it was perplexing to a lot of fans.
Yeah, well, Liberty GM Jonathan Kolb met with a select group of reporters today, and he called this decision proactive, not reactive, and said that it was really a determination to try to continue to evolve with the league and really lean into innovation and adapting with where the league is going. So much so, in fact, that the same kind of effort and conversation was on his mind last year when they ultimately won the championship. Some of the metrics that he brought up in this conversation when we're talking about innovating and evolving, and he said that, the Liberty's 3-point rate, their free throw rate, they actually plummeted relative to other teams in the league this year compared to, last year's where they were really strong in those categories. So they want to make sure that they are at the cutting edge of where this league is heading. And as part of that, we did ask him what the coaching candidate pool could look like. He said he's not going to try and limit the scope, doesn't have a timetable because they need to nail this. And I couldn't agree more. If you're you're going to get rid of Sandy Brondello, you need to have a pretty stellar hire that you're bringing in to replace.
Yeah, I mean, I get innovation. There's a lot of buzzwords there. I'm very interested to see when you get down to the brass tacks, what is the decision that the Liberty make here? Because they have an incredibly high bar. Sandy Brondello, 2 of the last 4 finals, a championship, and now they're searching for a new head coach. It's going to be really interesting to see who they bring in to lead this veteran group. Alexa, thank you as always for the time. The United States women's basketball program, it has been dominating the Olympics for the last 28 years, taking home the last 8 gold medals. That's the most consecutive gold medals in a team sport in Olympic history. Now joining NBA Today, a big part of 3 of those gold medal teams, the new head coach of Team USA, the women's squad, Kara Lawson. Kara, thank you so much and huge congratulations on the new job.
Thank you. It's been an incredible week, a dream come true for me, and an opportunity to lead our national team, not only in the World Cup in Berlin, but also at a home Olympics in LA in 2028 is pretty special.
And we're definitely going to get into that home Olympics because it's right here where I'm sitting in Los Angeles. But let's go back just a little bit here, Coach, because you played on that 2008 gold medal team, 1 gold in Beijing. You were an assistant as a part of the 2024 gold medal team in Paris. To be now the head coach of that team, knowing that those are your 2 bookends, can you just describe that journey for us?
Well, it's something that I've thought about for a long time, and it's something I've prepared for a long time. This is obviously a team and a dynasty that's had staggering amounts of success on the world stage, not only World Cups, but also Olympics, and been a part of that as a player, and then a part of that in the last cycle as an assistant coach, and now really excited to take over the helm of this program and put together a great coaching staff and also work with some of the top talent in the world.
You mentioned that home court advantage for 2028 right here in Los Angeles, and you're even wearing some of the home court colors here. But how does that feel to know that you're going to have that around the corner on the Olympic stage so early in your tenure?
I feel very fortunate to not just be the Olympic coach, but to have the opportunity. Only a select few get to lead their team out onto the floor with the home country behind them and in the stands and family and friends. And Los Angeles, what an incredible city. And to be able to put on for our country in one of our country's best sports and favorite sports in basketball, and to lead the team out in LA is going to be something really, really special.
Set the boundaries for asking for tickets early. That's going to be a whole lot of it.
You're already
right?
too late. You're already too late.
See?
They're gone. They're gone. They're
That's
gone.
the message. They're gone. Don't even bother sending the text message. Coach, have you given any thought to who is going to be joining your staff here?
That's something that Sue Bird will work on as the managing director of the team, and certainly I'll have some input on that. And the goal is to put together a group of the best coaches that we can find to help lead our team and to be a part of the development of this group over the next few years.
What has it been like working with Sue Bird?
Well, Sue and I have a relationship that goes back a long ways. We first started playing against one another when we were 10 or 11 years old. That's when it started. And then we played against each other in AAU, up through high school, college, pros, and we were teammates on the 2008 Olympic team. So we've known each other a long time. There's a great deal of respect shared amongst one another. I value her basketball IQ, her intellect, her ability to put the team together, and have full trust in what she's going to be able to do for us.
You mentioned the WNBA. Can we talk about these playoffs a little bit? Because they have been awesome. There were 7 players, right, from the 2024 gold medal team, and we got head coach Cheryl Reeve that are all playing for the W championship right now. What has impressed you the most watching this first round and then now the semis getting underway?
I love the competitiveness. I love the edginess. I love how physical the games are. It's been a joy to watch. And, you know, now I have to say I'm not a fan of any particular team, because now as a USA head coach, I have players on all the teams. So I'm not rooting for anyone. I want to put that out there, anyone specific. But to see all of our players that have been in our pool and in our system really shine in these moments gives me a lot of confidence as the U.S. coach, to see them step up and make big plays and in the critical moments. There's been so many good games, and I've enjoyed sitting back and watching as a fan.
Yeah, you talk about the competition. Give me that Fee and AT going at each other all day long. I love that. I cannot wait for Game 3. The average age, though, when you look at Team USA that won gold in Paris, almost 32 years old. Take a look at this. No, DT, we're not picking on you for making the averages swing one way or the other, but a lot was made made of maybe some younger players not making that roster. It was so competitive. Of course, there was so much chatter about Caitlin Clark last go around. How different do you expect, Kara, this roster to look this time around?
I think you've hit the nail on the head in the sense that we're so blessed with, I think, maybe the deepest talent pool that we have ever had. I would go as far to say the World Cup team next year and the Olympic roster in 2028 will probably be the hardest roster to make in terms of talent. There's so many great veteran players that have won a lot in their career. But you're right, there are a lot of outstanding young players as well that have come into the league and really helped change the game and really put their imprint on it. So that's what the camps are for, and to watch all these players compete. You're going to have to earn your place on this team, and you do that through your play, not just in the camps, but also in the WNBA season. And so we're in a fortunate position that we have a lot of talent, and I think the roster has always been a dynamic one, Malika. Like if you look from Olympics to World Cup to Olympics, it very rarely stays the same. There is some level of turnover, and so I think historically you would expect that to be true as well.
Iron sharpens iron. That's how you get the best of the best. Kara Lawson, thank you so much. Huge congratulations and good luck. You're also going into Duke season as well, so you have a lot on your plate here. We really appreciate you taking the time with us here on NBA Today.